Maxwell Conservation Trust, a letter came in that we may want to have you all take a look at.
Okay.
Gift of parcel 2, that would be the only addition.
So can
So
we add
vote the
that?
agenda.
Yeah, I make a motion to
As long as
accept
it's not
the
going to take any more than 15 minutes to discuss.
agenda with one amendment.
Second. Are we
In
gonna do this
favor?
again?
You can have
Aye.
it tonight.
You know, you can do it.
Aye.
Doesn't
Is
matter.
that
All
correct?
right. Do we want to go right to the IDAs?
Sure.
How at
That's all.
92 Clap Road, 12 by 14 deck,
That
continued?
is,
Continued again?
yeah, they're going to be moving the trampoline.
We've been talking about that trampoline for a while.
Right, I haven't been
It's a
back
big
out there, but, right.
It just
That's where
bouncing
the-
around.
That's where the plan, yeah, right. That's
So
where
for
the plantings are going to
16th,
go.
Pat, the next meeting?
Next meeting.
Okay, I make a motion to continue 92 Clap Road to July 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we're going to hold off on, is it Tan Guy? Tan
And
Guy?
Gates,
Yeah,
yep.
for a few minutes.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
My husband should be able to get
You
here.
better hurry up and get here, huh?
Exactly.
There's nobody in the highway.
Is it
No.
Lucetti at 25 Ocean Drive?
Lucetti,
Lucetti? Anybody here for that? We'll hold off on that.
hold off on that, I guess.
Please.
All right.
Kenny, 7 Revere Street. Come on up.
You're up.
Let me just read this piece and then we can. On July 2nd, 2014, during the 6:15 meeting, the Town Hall Scituate Conservation Commission will act on the request of Jim Kenny for a determination of applicability of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Scituate Wetlands Bylaw to install an 8 by 16 shed on property located at 7 Revere Street, Hummerock. Abutters and other interested parties are invited to attend. Rep?
I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do here, other than I want to put an 8 by 16 shed on my lot. It's 7 Revere Street. It is on the river.
No, it was on the computer and I.
Yeah.
Do you want this,
My
Frank?
computer
Yeah.
and-
can I take it?
The request that I sent in actually had it at the suggestion of Mr. Garrett. He asked me to put it as close to the house as possible.
Yeah.
But when I was in Florida when I made the application, and I've sent it up here. But when I got to the property, looking at it, there's two things that I need to consider about the location of the shed. One being that my septic system is inside that 20 feet, and I don't want to get the shed as close to it as, I want to keep the shed as far away from my septic system as possible. And the other is my neighbor's property to the east of me. His lot with his deck, if he was sitting on his deck, if it was put 20 feet from my house, he would be looking right at my shed instead of the river. So if I put it on the northeast corner, 8 feet, keeping the 8-foot setbacks from the northern boundary and from the eastern boundary, he would have a clear view of the river and I'd be away from my septic system. I want to put it on 6-foot sonotubes with 4 buried, 2 feet above the grade. And I contacted the town of Scituate about the sonotubes, and there's a notation of a phone conversation I had with Nicole from the town of Scituate that they are okay with my plan for the 6 sonotubes.
Okay. Can I just jump to Pat for a second?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Jim, do you know what the flood elevation is there? These piling, you're going to be raising it up on these sonotubes. Will they be above?
They're going to be four above medium sea level.
Okay, that was the concern we.
It'll be the same as my existing deck on my
Yeah,
house.
2 feet in that area is pretty good.
Right, and that section, that northeast section of the lot is actually elevated above, it's the highest portion of my lot.
Yes, it is.
And pretty much in the same spot where the previous.
There was an existing, long time ago, when I was a kid, the lady that owned the lot, I used to live across the street growing up, and then she had some sort of atrium or something there. That was in that corner as well.
Penny?
No, I guess it's okay as long as it's about flood. It is a funny lot. It's very narrow and I can accept you don't want to be over the septic.
No, I appreciate it be as far away from the septic system as I could.
And do you get a lot of flooding over there?
No, I mean, that 2 feet is gonna be plenty for him above that
Yeah, I
elevation.
just don't want it being, because it is close
Right.
to the river.
No,
I
we
don't-
get water that kind of creeps down the street sometime and stuff, but it's not huge. It's not like the ocean.
You don't
There's
get,
actually a seawall in front of my lot that pushes the water up Revere Street and up Berry Street, so
Oh, that's nice of you.
I'm good.
All I cared about was was it was up on tubes.
What's the area where you're gonna put the shed? What's growing there now? Is
Just some wild grasses.
nothing? Okay. All right. Well, what we'd like to do is have a minimal amount of disturbance. When you dig those,
Yep.
you know, if there's any kind of dune grass, any sort of, any vegetation will keep things from eroding.
Right.
So ideally, you'd minimize any impact you have on the ground around that.
I will do that.
And, you know, don't throw the gravel from the sonotubes over the
Yep.
marsh. Anything else?
No, I think
Motion?
that's it. I make a
Yeah,
motion.
I was just gonna say that you could be issued a permit number for this, and if you could post that either in the window of your house, and it'll let people know that you've got a permit, and it'll remind them to apply for a permit for
Okay.
similar projects.
example.
It would be an RDA number,
I
so,
want to be a good name.
yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion for a -3.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's a good thing.
Thank you. So will I get something in the mail?
Talk with Carol, and there's a waiting period, so that if somebody wanted to appeal the decision.
Okay.
But Carol, it doesn't get mailed, does it get mailed to them, or do they have to?
See,
Okay.
he's sitting right
Well, I won't be
Here.
here, I'm leaving. So.
there. 20 feet. I mean, he's not. At least he isn't way down here. That's a pass thing, and that's the river.
Thanks a lot.
Have
a good night now. The people. So he's
Is it McAteer, 22 Collier Road?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
he is a picture.
On July 2nd, 2014, during the 6:15 meeting, the Town Hall Scituate Conservation Commission will act on the request of John McAteer for a determination of applicability of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Scituate Wetlands Bylaw to raise and rebuild a dwelling and garage on property located at 22 Collier Road, Scituate. Abutters and other interested parties are invited to attend.
Good afternoon. Melissa Jones, she's helping me out too, and I thought Brendan Sullivan might be here from Cavanaro, but from what I'm being told, this might be pretty straightforward, so I don't know. What we're doing is at 22 Collier Road, we're taking down a dilapidated building and putting a new one up. We just got approved by the zoning board on Monday for all the permits for that, or it's got posted Monday, so we're waiting for our 20-day appeal period. And the scope of what we're trying to do is, basically, we're going to be putting a deck, a covered deck onto the house, and there may be 2 or 3 posts that will be, foundation supports that will be just infringing on the 100-foot buffer zone back from
Wanna pass
the
that
cliffside.
down? Yeah.
You can take it from here if you want.
Did you see it?
I haven't used every one.
Can I see that, John?
Sure.
Is this a Twigs?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
You can see the 50 and 100 there.
The property is, it's also not in the floodplain.
So do we have to do a stormwater piece on this?
No, it's previously existing, and there's no tree removal or anything, so.
Where the garage is?
Well, this is coming down.
Yeah.
There's a new garage going here, and then they're gonna raise the house.
That's all well out of the 100 foot.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So this is the
You
only
said
part we
yeah,
have an
right
infringement, okay.
Yeah. Part of the deck is in the 100 foot.
Just the footings, whatever.
Is your septic
And the
okay?
stairs?
It's sewer.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, you see
Right.
it up there.
Which makes it barely jurisdictional.
Right.
I'm forgetting.
Yeah, the only thing, are you certain that they don't have to do a stormwater piece on this part?
I don't.
They're disturbing more than 5,000 square feet of land?
On the lot, I don't know, if it's previously existing, I don't know.
No, but Frank's right, there is a disturbance thing.
I mean, I'm just looking at the topography and the house that's behind it.
Okay,
So everything's sort of shedding towards
okay,
that house. In Scituate, a few years ago, we passed a bylaw, and it's a stormwater protection. And what we're essentially trying to do is make sure that when a property is developed or altered, that no runoff goes into the abutters. So when you create more impervious surfaces than what was on the lot before, we want to know how that's going to be dealt with. So you're making a fairly substantially larger home, and you're out of the 100-foot buffer. So in terms of conservation issues, we don't see a lot. You're out of the floodplain.
Right.
But the way that the stormwater piece works is if you're not in the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission, you deal with the planning board for stormwater. But when you're in jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission, we look at the stormwater piece. So when you go to get your building permit, they're gonna ask you, have you dealt with the stormwater? And essentially, it would be, Cavanaro would take a look at that, and they could do some calculations and decide if maybe some, like, house of water gonna be dealt with that comes off the roof. Is it gonna go into some seepage pits or that
Right.
sort of thing?
Correct.
So I don't know if any of
And the
that,
net difference of roof runoff, they'll take the existing structure and the new structure and
Yeah.
what the difference will be, and then how they're gonna handle the water.
So are we saying this is planning or us?
it's us.
Because
Oh,
we're
it
it's
would be us?
jurisdictional, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though they're out of the 100.
Because
Well,
they're, but they're in the.
But they are in it just to bear.
The minute they're here,
Okay.
right, the minute they're
Okay.
here,
Yeah.
stormwater is
Okay.
conservation.
So,
I'm sorry, I'm Brendan Sullivan from Kevin Arthur Consulting.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yep, no, hop in.
So, yeah.
grab a chair,
Pull a
Brian.
chair right around.
No, I'm fine, I can stand. I understand your concerns with the stormwater, but I believe we do fall into the threshold for the stormwater bylaw for the planning board. I mean, I think the increase in runoff will be, fairly minimal from the site, but we can introduce, dry wells and groundwater infiltrators to.
So do you want to do it with the planning board, or you do, I mean, typically it's the Conservation Commission if it's within our jurisdiction.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was either.
yeah.
Um,
When you brought that up, I was thinking an increase of 40,000, but it's total amount of disturbance, so you're right,
Right, on most
Yeah,
raise and
yeah.
rebuilds, we have
Right.
a stormwater plan,
right.
existing versus the new, and
But the planning board's thresholds are fairly large there.
5,000 square feet. If there's a disturbance of more than 5,000 square feet of area.
No, I thought it was 17,000. That was my
You can go away tonight, and then you can,
No, that's.
No, it's 5.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
5.
I was aware, I've talked to Laura before with other projects, and I thought 17,000, it was a 15 or 17,000 it was, I know it's a larger number. I know in Cohasset it's 5,000, but.
that's just like
It's-
250 square feet.
Well, there's, yeah. Okay, so I wasn't aware that we had to address this.
I could be wrong. I mean, we can do the RDA piece, but
Right,
you're gonna deal
right.
with somebody with the
Right.
stormwater.
Sure.
Yeah, we could find that out for you tonight or tomorrow, email you by tomorrow,
Sure.
because it does fall in our jurisdiction. It would be us, not the planning board, and if the amount of disturbance triggers it, then it would be with us, but the RDA piece,
Essentially, we're
we
gonna
could
look at
probably-
the same thing,
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
but I think either way, you're gonna have to deal with it in order to get a building permit.
Sure, okay.
And so it's up to you. But I believe that when you file with the commission, then typically we would be the ones to do the stormwater.
Yeah, if it's either, if it's in
I
your.
mean, we're
jurisdiction.
essentially gonna look at the same thing, so if there was more impact on the wetlands, then I would be more adamant about saying, no, we would be reviewing it. We just had another situation where there was a common driveway. It was in our jurisdiction, but the planning board also had jurisdiction because of the common driveway.
Sure.
So we're both working on it, and that's
Okay.
fine. I mean, that we tried to develop these rules together so that they weren't conflicting.
Yeah, yeah.
But I believe that you're gonna have to deal with that. You know, when you do the sign-off sheet for the building department,
Okay.
they're gonna be looking for the stormwater piece.
Do you have a card, Brendan?
Yes.
I can email you tonight.
Yep.
I mean, as far as the project
Thanks.
Itself is a
for an RDA, we can discuss that tonight. And I believe we could rule on it.
I was gonna say, could
We
you
can-
close and condition?
Well, we can,
Stormwater question has to be.
Right.
but they'll still come back with that piece of it.
Yeah, they,
Okay?
All right.
I mean, could you condition it tonight that the, providing we provide, drainage calculations, there's not gonna be any more excess runoff on the site, we will do infiltrators and.
Right, but I think you're gonna have to come back to another meeting to do that, for the commission to take a look at it.
For a stormwater review,
So that's a separate permit from the RDA.
See, we're gonna issue the IDA, I'm gonna go for a negative
Do we have,
3.
but first, before you do,
Yeah.
is there anybody in the audience? And I really want to work our way around the room here,
Sure.
so it might.
Okay.
All right?
I'm sorry, I thought,
So do you have any other comments on this piece?
no, it looks okay to me.
Bill?
No.
I'm good.
Paul?
yeah, no, it's gonna be minimal impact. I mean, you're, for all purposes, outside the 100, across the street from the wetland.
Is there anybody else in the audience for that? Okay. So,
I'll
You
make
wanna-
a motion for negative 3 with the stipulation that possibly a stormwater piece has to
Right.
be.
yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it does trigger it. And I'll email you tonight. And then,
Okay.
the other thing is, sometimes houses in this area are within view of the North River, and they have to file with North River Commission. You may want to look into that.
Okay, I think we'll roll out of there.
Yeah, I was surprised. There was one right around there recently that
Oh,
had to
okay.
file, but you may be right,
Yeah.
so. But we can get you that, and we can let you know. We have a hearing on the 16th, so if it's stormwater review, we could probably do it that night.
The 16th of this month coming up?
Yes.
Okay,
In 2 weeks.
okay, good. That
I'm
would
sure your
help.
neighbors are pretty happy about this.
Yeah. Actually, I had some neighbors that we'd never met, came to the zoning and for, just to give us a attaboy to get the house down, so
That's great.
we're looking
Good luck
forward.
with your project. I hate to be holding you up, but I believe that piece has to be dealt with.
Mhm.
Sure, okay.
And I think it's important for your neighbors, especially if you think about how your lot
Sure.
slopes, that you're not going to impact your neighbor.
Okay. No, that's fine, I appreciate that.
So we need a second and a vote.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
I think
So
it's
that
your
part
turn
is
next.
good.
All right, good, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Enjoy the weekend.
You too. Agenda. We can get back to, I'm gonna slaughter your name. Is it say your last name? Tanguy?
No, that's Brian, the contractor. I'm the homeowner.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna do this?
Yeah,
Silva,
because he's
right?
out on vacation. I'm the Silva.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening, and I'm sorry I was late.
Sure, no problem. Your name is?
Mark De Silva.
He's the homeowner.
Okay. And we started this?
No.
This is
No, this
continued.
was continued
supposed
from
to
last
be-
time. There was
Right.
nobody available last time.
Okay, so do we know, you wanna explain the project?
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's a home addition. I'm putting in a 12 by 12 bathroom at the back of the house, which is within the 50 and 100-foot mark from the wetlands. I mean, we had a wetlands specialist come out and delineate it again more recently. It was done 10 years ago. And so we have fresh maps. I think those were
Can I borrow
Submitted.
your plan?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I don't even have a plan.
From being continued, I didn't-
come with it.
Well, bring it with the contractor, Brian Janway, have that, so these are the wetlands up here. This is the proposed addition. And then there's
Did
another
you
room
come
being added here. We had another issue there with the setback, so we're changing that to comply with the 30-foot setback. So I think the only thing in question
She came in for an informal.
was the structure of the
Frank, Pat and I and somebody else went out there a few months ago, didn't
Yeah.
we? Yeah, and basically, they want to kind of square off the house in the back there. And,
It was outside the 50.
it was outside the 50, but it is in the 100, so we would want some mitigation, I would think.
Yeah, I think some folks came out already.
Yeah, we did,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah,
was
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying. I know Pat and I were there, and I forget who else.
Lisa, I think was.
Lisa. And we walked around back.
Yeah.
So the septic system's already in place, right?
Yes. It was put in 10 years ago in 2004.
Okay. Anybody else want to look at this?
No, I don't
The
think.
addition is on sonotubes?
I'm sorry?
The addition will be on sonotubes?
Yes. Yeah, the 12 by 12 is going to be on
Definitely
tubes.
just 4 by sonotubes and real.
That says 14 by 12, right?
Yeah, we just for the purposes of the drawing, we did 14 by 12, but we're going to make it less than that. So.
Right, real house, supported by foundation.
Okay.
That's kind of the uphill side where the addition is going. The land kind of slopes there.
So this addition,
Which
the
part?
addition on the front of the house is gonna be on a foundation, and the addition on the back of the house, or I guess as you look at it, the left side
Yeah.
is gonna be on sonotubes, and the right,
This is the front of the house. This is going to be on tubes.
okay.
Yeah, and this,
And we're going to adjust this height to meet the setback.
well, you can see 25.
Yeah,
in-
Yeah, it's an old house. It's an old shared house.
Right.
right, so
Yeah.
you gotta
So-
pull that
so-
back 5 feet, so
Right,
you're at
exactly.
30.
So having these drawings redone by Brad.
Okay.
We need to see the new drawings.
Yeah, that'll be part of the product process.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. In the land definitely
And you're saying that
sloped.
small addition's now gonna be 12 by 12? Okay. All right. Anybody in the audience like to speak to this?
So
Do
did
you
they-
have one of these in the folder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can give you this back.
Oh.
So do we have a motion?
Yeah, for a -3.
Second?
It's your turn.
I would want stipulated that we will get a copy of the new drawings, the revised drawings, and with that, I would second it.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there'll be a number issued with this, an RDA note, if you could post that in the window of the house,
Okay.
when the work is going on.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
And then gives a revised plan?
Yeah, that'll be part of the permit
Okay.
application itself.
Yeah, well, I think if we could get one at the
But then these
conservation office,
Okay,
make
sure. I'll
sure.
make sure that gets done.
Yeah, they're pretty close to each other, but they don't always talk to each other.
Okay. Yeah, that's.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
coming in.
much. Sorry I'm late.
So, Oliver, 144 Turner Road. On July 2nd, 2014, during the 6:15 meeting in Town Hall, the Scituate Conservation Commission will act on the request of Douglas Oliver for a
see.
determination of applicability of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Scituate Wetlands bylaws to build a 14 by 24 deck on property located at 144 Turner Road, Scituate. Abutters and other interested parties are invited to attend. Mr. Oliver,
No, it's just new.
you let us know what you want to do, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I'm going to build a deck added on to the back of the house. It is actually 110 feet from the marsh, and it's going to have a hot tub in it, and it's going to be 12 by 14. It's going to be on sonotubes, and
This says 14 by 24.
it is, because of the stairs, 24, sorry.
Okay.
How are we delineating the wetlands?
Have you got a,
Well, he didn't, we don't have on this drawing where the wetlands are, but I was out there, I know Pat was out there, and
Right, I would say it was over 50 to the beginning of the
but I don't
marsh, or
think it
back
was
of the
100 and
freeways.
something feet.
Yeah, it was over 50, but I don't think it
I mean, the
was.
Phragmites is right
yeah.
back there. I mean, that's one thing I questioned with Pat tonight when I came in,
Right.
because there's nothing, Frank, you can see this.
And my finger.
Sorry.
Down below the existing deck, Frank, there's a gravel parking area.
So the deck that's being expanded, Mr. Oliver, is in the
Yes,
back
it
of the
is.
house?
Yes.
It's a parking deck.
This is the opposite side of the street of the seawall. There's a
Right.
cross turn.
Yeah, but it's all wet.
Yeah, the
And
note,
then that heads back into that
right.
marsh area.
Yeah, the notes we took out there, we said that the marsh was gonna be greater than 50 feet from the proposed deck and that the flood zone's an AO flood zone. And so we checked with Neil and he said, you know, sonotubes would be the best thing out there.
Okay. You're comfortable that it's
It's
at
more
least
than,
50 feet
it's
out?
more than 50, yeah. And there were a couple of boxes on the application that were missing to be checked, so I just changed those. There's determination boxes. I just checked off a couple because it's, we were looking at what work you were doing, how close you were to a wetland, and then is a bylaw applies. It's just a minor thing, but I've changed the 3 boxes, so.
Is there anybody in the audience that wants to? Good. Penny?
-3.
No?
So we're in the 100 a little bit.
Right.
So is there anything else that we need to do in that area?
Oh, fragment.
I don't think there's
No.
much that can be
There isn't.
changed in that
No.
particular spot.
Okay. All right, so I'm good, thank
And
you.
it's on sonotubes.
It's on sonotubes.
Yep, okay. I'm good, thank you.
Good? No problem.
Okay. A motion?
I make a motion for -3.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Look, make sure it gets the right size.
Yeah.
And
And if you could put the sign up in the window too. It just,
Sure.
yeah, it'll have the number, we'll give you
right
the
down
number.
the street if the hot
So
tub.
that people know that you.
Myself.
All right, we'll see you. Bye-bye.
That's right.
Yep. But we might be close with the 25%.
What else do we have?
Ocean Drive, 25 Ocean Drive.
Jetty?
Oh, okay. Are they, is anybody here for?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. See if I can find that one.
We found your house after going all over Ocean Drive and Ocean Side and Ocean Road.
On July 2nd, 2014, during the 6:15 meeting in the Town Hall, the Scituate Conservation Commission will act on the request of Jason, is it Lucetti?
Lucetti, yes, sir.
Lucetti, for a determination of applicability of the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Scituate Wetland Bylaw to build a 12 by 24 deck on property located at 25 Ocean Drive, Hummerock. Abutters and other interested parties are invited to attend. Just explain to us what you want to...
I'm just looking to get approval on putting a deck off the back of the rear of the house. It's 12 by 24 with a set of stairs that go down to the outback. They're on prefabbed sonic
That's it.
tubes, which is required by the town. They're 8 inches, 2 feet on the bottom, I believe 5 feet tall. I believe there's 7 of them.
You already have them.
I already have them, yeah. I had no idea that this was the procedure for a deck in Hummerock. I'm learning. They're in the driveway.
We know.
Yeah, we
We were there today. I ordered them. I went down to the building department. And they said, no, you got to go to conservation first. So here I am. They're not in the ground, though.
No,
No,
those
we
are gonna be
saw.
tall enough. How deep does the footing go?
They're 5 feet, which is required by the building department.
All right.
You got the perfect yard for it, I will say that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to go there. We're not seeing a plot plan or anything.
No, well, that's.
You're welcome
something
after
we'll
to come
discuss
over.
later.
Yeah.
But the
on
yard
the street, so
definitely.
fireworks. Not a problem.
Yeah.
It's street level in the front, and then it's
Slopes
very
down
steep,
away from
and
the
the whole
water.
foundation is exposed in the back. In the back is where the deck's gonna go.
Okay.
So
It'll be up
it's
off the
pretty
ground 8
protected.
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least it'd be up off the ground, say
Oh, yeah.
at least 7 feet, 8
Yeah.
feet maybe.
Yeah, it's definite. The whole back
I
is
didn't see any
exposed.
issues.
I don't have any questions.
Nope.
It's fine
To go
with
on.
it.
I
Yeah,
saw it today, so
Lisa
I'll-
was there, Pat was there, she was there.
I will go with your
And he was there.
discretion.
I was there.
Yep, okay.
I didn't see any issues at all. I really
there
didn't.
isn't one.
No, I was talking to building and they were saying you can't attach it directly to the house, the deck. It has to have some type of because it's in a velocity zone. So there has to be some type of way to separate the house from the deck. But that would be something.
I'll figure that out.
Yeah, he could.
You just don't put a band
It's a
on the
tearaway.
house, make
It's a
it,
tearaway.
frame
It's
it
easy.
freestanding.
It is easy.
Even if you
I
can
mean,
just slide a
it's
piece of
just a few
paper
inches.
between
We
the
don't
deck
care.
and the house.
But he's at Pilot, so you might.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Someone does some
Neil could tell
carpentry
you
work when he's
how to do
picked
that.
up.
I'll touch base with you.
They'll let you know.
I'm happy to help you because I have the same thing up a little bit further north from you, so
Okay.
I couldn't have it attached to my house.
No.
What did you do? Is it freestanding on?
Jumps.
The best way I can tell you is it's actually leaning against the house, but it's not hitched.
Oh, okay.
It's not attached.
So
It can't be.
it breaks away, the house stays.
If it ever flooded, that's right.
Do you have a builder's license?
I don't have the builder's license, but we did have to go through
He
conservation.
does.
You want to work on your own house.
No, that's true.
You can do any, you can wire 440, but you can't glue plastic because the plumbers have a good union.
All right.
A lot of anti-government
Talk to the
stuff.
building inspector about what you
I'll
want to do.
figure that.
Yeah,
I'll
that,
figure that out.
It isn't hard.
I think that his recommendation would be better.
Okay. I'll make
Not
a
that you guys
motion.
aren't good guys, but. Anybody in the audience for this? Okay.
There is a proper way to do it. Anyways, a -3.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Good
post
luck.
that sign in the window, RDA, it'll have an RDA number, and it'll be
We're
a,
on. We have a current theme running through.
when you get the permit, you can do that. They'll,
Well,
you
you
just
know
tell
what?
you what the numbers,
It's-
I make the
it's a
sign.
really
I
good
love it, because
So,
when I'm
yeah.
driving by the site.
We should get like lime green signs or something.
Neon.
Call it tomorrow.
Yeah, instead of the
Yeah,
orange
tomorrow.
What's the red
or,
permit?
Yeah.
Why don't we get
Those
green
are
ones?
red.
That's
I
right,
should
something
be a
perfect.
different
Put
color.
a yield, but on a deck
That's a
like
good
that,
idea,
probably
the
not.
lime green.
There is an appeal period.
So you can come down.
Yeah, talk to Carol.
Thank you. All right.
Have a good night.
What else do we have on the agenda this evening?
I think we were talking about a certificate of compliance for 56 Moreland, and I went out there, and it looks really good, but I think there needs to be measurements taken from the house to the property line to the right. It was a contentious hearing, so it looks really good, but I think counting the plants and measuring this to be absolutely sure that it's at the right spot. So,
Okay.
Yes.
this was a request from an abutter that we go through all the steps. So I was thinking we could have that done today. We just get too busy today with site visits, so
Is this
they're not in a rush for it.
Big White House.
It's, I don't know if it's white or not. Yeah, you know the house.
So what do you think you need to do?
Take measurements from the house to where the plantings were, and from the house to
Well,
the
do you want, I
fence.
mean, do you have time to do that, or should they just have their surveyor give you a? plan?
No, they put it on there. They've submitted all that, but I just have to verify it,
Uh-huh.
because
You didn't take it.
that was very contentious,
Okay,
It's the one I'm thinking of.
all right.
so. And that was the only other hearing, I think. There's,
All right.
What do we got going back here?
Is there something,
yeah, we have a whole list.
to get
so-
something?
Yes, this is about Water Street, 158.
Why don't you come up?
Oh.
Oh, it's on the
okay.
agent's report.
Yes, 158.
We haven't got it.
Yes.
Oh, we just got it.
Okay.
Did you
See a lot of people during the week, and they, yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
So we have a number of letters that we sent out on violations in the past couple of weeks. Some of them we've told people we're digging up some more information, and we don't have an official hearing, or it hasn't gone to an enforcement order. 158 goes way back. There was a violation filed in like 2008 or 9, and it was about a pipe that may not have been put in correctly and has caused flooding in different yards. So we went out, we walked the site, and then we took information from the abutters, and then we wrote a letter to the property owner, and he has asked us to check with some other people that know additional information on the site. So there's a person who used to be on the commission that lives across the street, and then there is the person who did the work on the pipe was Joe Bonomi.
Yeah, so Mike
So-
Blakey is across the
Yes,
street.
yeah, Joe Bonomi, so we're gonna talk with them. But it's, there's a certificate of compliance that never was requested. And one of the requirements in the enforcement order was that an engineered plan be used for the installation of the pipe. When they get out, there was all ledge, and they said, well, it doesn't make sense to do what you were gonna do, so try to work around it. So there's no engineered plan that we could find, so that's kinda where we are. So if it's not working and there's no engineered plan, it's just a pipe kinda laid there. And we have stream crossing standards that we have to follow. And there's also an order of conditions for how wide this road could be. It may or not be at the width that it's supposed to be on.
Do we know how old the house is that's out and back in this driveway? Was
It's
it?
an antique frame.
Yeah.
It's in
It's
1800s.
1800s.
Yeah.
So the house was there's been a driveway going out to it, but what triggered, did somebody modify the driveway?
Yes.
So maybe
Yeah.
we need to get your
Yeah.
names and addresses.
My
for-
name is Susan Campbell, and I currently live at 162 Border Street. And this is Sarah Lloyd, who lives at 180.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's also germane that in 1979 to 1984, I lived at 150 Border Street, which is on the other side of the Moskowitz's driveway at 158. So I have extensive knowledge over this whole time period. And basically, shortly after I moved there, the Moskowitzes began to widen their driveway. And each year they have widened it a little bit more. And almost immediately, this small trickle of a stream began to flood our properties. So over time, and then this pipe was ordered to be put in, we complained because the pipe was always a good foot and a half out of any water. And every year it gets a little worse. And now I have had my septic system, which was put in 2001, checked, and it has failed because the groundwater level in the back of my yard has come up almost a foot and a half in the 9 years I've been there. The septic system is only about 12 or 13 years old. The Lillies put it in before they left the house. Further, the Butlers next to me and the Lloyd wells on the other side, we all have water in our backyards. At certain times of the year, it gets quite deep. A lot of invasive species have grown, and as well, we have, I would say, 10 or 12 trees that are 30 to 40 feet high that are either dead, some have fallen, black walnuts, oaks, other trees that had been there forever. And because their trunks were sitting in a couple feet of water, caused basically by this dam that's been created by widening the driveway and putting mulch on each year that just sort of goes down into the water, and the plantings and the trees that were around there being removed. So, personally, I'm stuck with a very large financial burden and impediment to, I'm trying to sell my house because I need to downsize. So it's, and we've all been very unhappy with the amount of water and so forth in our backyards. There are times in early spring we can't have our yards mowed even because there's so much water.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Well, I was just to add to what Susan said, which is pretty much exactly what I have said, regarding the trees. I mean, we had a huge oak that is dead. And, a quote for even removal is $3,000. We've had two old black walnuts removed, which cost us, several $1,000s to have it removed, and then replacement trees that, can handle the water. But also, my husband, who unfortunately isn't here, but he was looking on the Massachusetts Environmental Protection Agency website, and for one of the things that they had suggested on the website was an open culvert, and I don't understand why they couldn't have done that, because it would have allowed more water to go through, in a wider area than a small pipe that's raised up that never touches the water.
Well, ideally, some of the new standards that came out from DEP actually asked for that, so that animals can move back and forth, like with a bottomless culvert.
Yeah, which, if there is ledge, which
Right.
I'm not sure there is, couldn't they do that with a,
Right.
either concrete or some sort of metal open culvert for the water just to flow under?
I can just, excuse me for a second.
Sure.
Because we really have to get to more, I went out to that site, got us 5 years ago, whenever.
Yeah.
And
It was back
I
up.
remember seeing water backed up, and we looked at the pipe, and I just can't remember all the gyrations that went on after that. But essentially, what you're saying is that it's still a problem, nothing's really changed.
It's
And in
actually,
fact,
it's got,
okay, so I think we've given an enforcement order to the,
No, it was a violation letter at this point. It's on
Did you get
enforcement,
the
order,
email?
but there was, yes, yeah, there were several emails. There's also, from 2009, it looks like the enforcement order called for an order of conditions. We don't have a record of another file. I don't know if it's in the building or was never completed.
okay,
But in the enforcement order, it calls, and in the minutes, it calls for an engineered plan to try to keep the water flowing through there. And at that time, stream crossing standards were in place, so they wouldn't have been allowed to put a small corrugated pipe there. It would have had to been an open culvert.
all right, so why don't we see if we can get the owner of that property either at a meeting or at least we'll give them whatever violation pieces we have to.
Right. He was going to come tonight, and he gave me the names of the 3 people that he had spoken to that could give some idea what went on. So I said I'd be glad to speak with them, and wouldn't be
I don't
in
think we
time
need
for
to
tonight.
prolong the thing,
Right.
because this has been going on for quite some
Yeah.
time. I think that they just, if he can get them to be at the next meeting, that's fine. If not,
Yeah.
we want to cut to the quick, and so we're not going back and forth.
Yep.
It's costing us a lot of money. I mean,
yeah.
you know,
And
she's gonna have
basically, I
to
was gonna
replace
say,
her
when I
septic.
moved in, I went back there and looked, having lived on the other side,
Sure.
25 years previously. And there was this little tiny trickle of water. And at 150 border, there was a little bit bigger stream. So the water always has been flowing down.
Yeah, no, we
through
could.
there. But there's no stream now at 150. There's
Right.
nothing. I mean, it's just,
And
it's a dam.
You know, I
Right.
mean, we know Michael very well. I mean, he's a neighbor.
Yeah,
And,
we all
and,
know each
you know,
other.
but one thing that he was insisting was, oh, well, it was a wetlands. It was a wetlands. But it is now. I mean, but
Yeah.
it certainly wasn't
It's
Okay.
swamp
historically.
now. And there's a lot of mosquitoes being created. It's just very difficult. And,
Okay.
the couple of people who were interested in my house, what's with that water back there?
Okay.
And they don't even know the septic is failed. So
All right,
her
well,
house
but I
is-
think
her
but
house
this
is for
is,
sale,
sure.
that's-
Okay,
Yeah.
so what we'll do is move forward to get the person that did
That
that
sounds
to
good.
come in, see if we can figure out what they actually should be putting there or what they didn't do that they were supposed to do.
Okay.
As Pat said, there is some pieces that seem to be missing, but I think
See, we
pretty
don't know
evident
when
that.
that pipe was put in, that's our problem too.
Yes, it was put in 2009 because the Butlers actually recalled that you had come out a couple of times.
Yeah, but the pipe was already there when we
Penny,
went out
this is
there.
all
No,
irrelevant
no.
until we get.
All right.
It's a different pipe that was put in.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's just get the people that are supposed to be here and
Oh.
we'll go from there. All right?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
So should we schedule for the 16th then? Okay, July 16th? And we'll,
I won't be here, but I'll be here and maybe Helen will be.
okay, and we'll have a better idea of the time closer to that date. So, I mean, if you call, we can tell you it's either going to be late or early or something. So,
Okay?
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you. Have a nice 4th.
it. You too.
We don't get soaked.
really.
158 border.
You know what, I can make copies of what we have, we can get it scanned and sent out, because the minutes tell more than anything else on this one.
I do remember having some hearings on this,
Yeah.
talking about it, and we went out there and you could see that the yard was flooded. And they were supposed to deal with that, and it just doesn't sound like they did a
Right.
good job with it.
Yeah,
So it's not that much brain surgery.
right,
Okay.
all right. Let's see, what else is waiting? Rosemary, any issues for us tonight, or we'll get you on the agenda, or?
Could I just ask a question? You mentioned
Sure.
you're asking everyone to put a sign. Do you have the signs?
No, just, they could just make it a shingle, or,
Similar to our DEP
Yeah.
sign.
yeah,
What,
just
we don't, the DEP sign.
temporary, yeah.
Now, we tell people to make a certain size sign with some numbers. Although I think,
signs are great.
Yeah, we've never done it with RDAs, and work's going on, and people saying, why don't these
Why
guys?
isn't it permanent?
Yeah,
I think
so,
it's a great
yeah.
idea. Maybe some of the minor permanent funding money could go to that.
Yeah. That would be nice.
well, I
they
think
can
it's
make
just
their
getting
own.
some
Yeah.
rigid cardboard.
Yeah.
Building department prints out their red ones, if we could get some green,
Yeah, another color,
some color.
yeah.
Yellow, orange.
Some of the other ones we went to this week, 277 Chief Justice Cushing. Frank and I went down. These are the two houses right at the
Are
Rotary.
we gonna get those people in here at the next meeting?
Yeah, what I was gonna do is I was gonna do a measurement out there to where the disturbance, it's well beyond what it should
You know
have
what?
been.
I think we should have, the owner of the property is the one that right now is doing the violations.
right.
All right, there's a set of orders, there's a wetlands line.
Yeah.
This is my own opinion, but he's the one right now that's doing that. If he wants to say that the builder didn't put something in or whatever, then he can go chase him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was these are the ones that really perturbed me because
Yeah.
we had a very contentious hearings. It was very clear what they were supposed to do. The builder knew what was supposed to do. It should have, all of those orders should have been recorded, and somebody should have taken a look at it before they passed papers.
Yeah.
I guess they passed without a certificate of compliance.
Yeah.
Right, right. They,
So-
yeah,
That's his problem.
the builder did put in the plantings. The posts weren't in, but the plantings were in, and it appears the plantings are gone from that whole section, and now it's yard.
But so both pieces are missing. I mean, he should have got those posts in to
Delineate,
to
yeah.
delineate where they were supposed to stop.
Yeah,
And then it appears as though someone's just kept going. You know, who knew what is almost
Right.
irrelevant. I mean, we could
Right.
chase that one around
Right.
forever. Doesn't
Right.
matter. They just
Right.
need to put it back.
yeah,
Right, property owner's liable.
And I
right.
think we need to.
So, we should schedule this one. Are you doing times, Penny, so far for these? Because we have the last one and this one, or do we want to?
Well, they're not, notice of intent.
Okay.
I mean,
Right,
they're-
so just
they're-
already
Well,
is.
do you
Yeah.
want, I mean, are these show cause? We
Yeah.
should
I mean,
just
it's.
put them on the
it's-
agenda.
It's a violation, we'll get them in, and then if there's an agreement to get stuff done, then we just monitor it. If there's no agreement, then we do an enforcement on it.
Yep, that's
So-
fine.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, Pat and I met the owner at the one house, but I want to make sure that the people in the back don't, because they look like they were pushing.
Yeah, they didn't take out the plantings, but we can.
No,
yeah,
but they looked like they were clearing an area beyond
yeah.
where they were.
Today, the latest thing is a big hammock out the back there now.
I think that, it's, you know, Penny's made her point that, you know, we condition these projects, we're careful to let people know what we want, and then as soon as they get them in there, they just keep going. And this thing's right
Right,
on Route 3A.
right.
But some of the stuff around the house doesn't look like it meets, I mean, it's not even just that. There's
Right, the
retaining
tomato
walls.
plants are
I
on
don't care
top,
about
yeah,
those, but there's retaining walls, there's a good-sized driveway.
yeah.
I'm not sure all that was
He
on
did
that.
come in with that driveway. He
Okay.
came in the
He came
fall,
back, yeah.
because the sun was moving in, and we told him he could do that, but it had to be on the grass. And at that meeting, we told him, don't try and do anything else, it's gotta be on the grass.
Okay.
We might have minutes on that, too.
Well, we
Yeah.
definitely
gotta
do,
get the
because
plan
it
and
was in the
then get it
fall.
in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they're both on for next time. 56 Chittenden, this was a guy has a car repair business, and he's looking to put a lift in his garage, and he had several cars around the lot, and a few of them were parked on our property. We think it's town conservation property, but we haven't been able to find out. It's the back, if you follow out the back of the school and go all the way out there, there's
Yeah,
a
we
wooded-
did take some property,
Yeah.
or received some property as a gift.
So I think some of the cars are on that. He's moved them, and he was saying he just wanted to, get a garage where he can work on his cars. He pulled stuff out of the buffer, and he wants to maybe file with us. And I said, well, that's a good thing to do. I said, but you need to stop by getting the wetland delineated. He thinks he has it on a septic plan, so if he brings that in. So that one's kind of on hold, but he did respond
But
to.
He
everything's off
did
of
get
the
the cars
town.
out.
Cars are off of our property, and they may be also out of the 50, but they may not be. We have to find out where the wetland is. Monticello, 20 Monticello, Cranewood area. This one.
Where is that?
Where is it?
Oh, this is on Hummerock.
Hummerock.
Oh, okay.
Would have been my first guess.
I'm
We were
waiting to see
there
what you're
today.
gonna say.
Okay, me and Kevin, we were there today, and
We were?
this is a
We were.
dispute between abutters where
The fence.
Oh,
a
the
year
fence.
ago, an abutter took stones and put them back on the beach, and the person who lived on the beach felt like there was disturbance to her the passageway beside her house. So she asked if she could do some plantings, bring in sand, and we said, yep, you can always bring in sand, do beach grass planting. So she said, what about Rosa rugosa? I said, great. So she was putting them in. She says, well, can I put a little snow fence up to keep people from walking on the plants? I said, okay, it's going to be perpendicular to the beach, temporary snow fence. So we're out there now, and there's a picket fence that's 4 or 5 feet high, and there looks like another fence around the side of the house. It looks
It's a
nice.
stockade.
So the letter we wrote to them, we said, you know, you've put up a fence without filing, you need to file. And we got several letters explaining why they didn't think they needed to file, and
Are they blocking people's access with it?
no,
or- Okay.
no, yeah. Still walking access there. So. But
They shouldn't have a
it's,
fence at all.
you know, something you have to file for, you put in posts
Right.
and all that
And you already
stuff,
gave them
so.
instructions on what to do.
Yeah, and I think Frank got a couple of letters, so,
You got some?
It's that time of year.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
he hasn't read them yet.
So,
I wish you'd control yourself.
yeah, really, I know, yeah. I got a nasty phone call, but anyways.
Only one?
Thought I was,
Well, you know what, it's just, it is what it is. It's, you know, folks aren't around for a while, it's the summer,
Yeah.
everybody gets going on their property, they don't realize the implications of some of the things they're doing.
Right,
They
right,
don't understand it's their property, why can't we do what we wanna do?
yeah,
I mean, it gets age-old after.
yeah.
And
So-
you try your best, and I think you do a great job of that, to try to explain to people why they can do it, why they can't, that's the best
Yeah.
you can do.
So I'll remind them again, they should file, and, you know,
Yep.
and we'll see where it goes from there. It'll be another interesting week,
Yeah.
although I won't be, I'm going on vacation this week, so.
What?
Sorry. I'll be back
So
Monday for
refer
the day.
everybody to Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Penny, you're in charge.
Yeah.
The Glades Marsh, I don't think we sent you the copy of the enforcement order yet. No. Carol and I, we sent it out to the property owner and to DEP. And it turns out this was done 7 years ago by the same property owners in the
Copy
same,
of the letter that said Trish, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
And that had an attachment with the,
Yeah.
okay, 4-page enforcement
Yeah.
order. So, and Audubon was monitoring some nests out there, and Natural Heritage was involved in the past. So, when I spoke to them the first time, they said, well, we can do what we feel like out there. And then today, when they got the letter, they called and they said, all right, well, what do you want us to do? And I said, well, we have to start by determining how much marsh was disturbed. So we're gonna have them pay for a wetland salt marsh specialist to go out, take some measurements, see how much beach and salt marsh was messed up. But there could be big fines
Yeah.
involved in
It's
this.
an osprey
Especially
nest,
if
maybe,
they've done
too?
this,
Yeah.
if this is another infraction
Right.
and they knew better, then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So,
Okay,
all right, so they'll be on next time.
all right.
All right, it's me. Gear up for the 16th.
Well, maybe if we get out of here early, we'd feel better about
All
that.
right, we'll move quick. Jericho Road, 148 Jericho Road is a,
you sort that out or no?
yes, there's gonna be an engineer, go out there and tell them what they need to do. And they're
Okay.
gonna have to take out some material and bring in some new material and hopefully not visit the office anymore.
Right.
So,
Is that going to be on the 16th?
people are gonna take their vacation. Maybe. No, they missed the deadline. It'll have to be after that.
Okay.
Stockbridge Landing, we got another continuance on this one. We had a meeting in here, right in here, and there was 3 lawyers and 3 engineers, and it's going around and around about, is the water table high, are the soils bad? And we still need to get the drinking water guy, Bruce Boat, back in to tell us whether it's bad for the supply or not.
I thought DEP already ruled on this.
That's a different one.
Oh,
That one is Old Oaken Bucket.
oh,
Yeah. This one DEP ruled on the stormwater, and we think they made the bad decision, so we appealed. They're amended.
Yeah.
okay.
So this one's chugging along. Goulston property, the Proving Grounds, the Toll Brothers, they, what are they doing? They're gonna send in an ANRAD for a wetland delineation for the whole site.
Did we get an expert? Were you able
I
to?
talked to Chris, he's willing to take it, and he's on vacation this week, but if you guys want to have him come on the 16th, and we can have Toll Brothers come on the 16th, you can meet Chris, and we can talk to him about, the first step is going to be to look at the old ORAD that was issued. Because the old one had a wetland line. And if this new one doesn't include all those wetlands, we're gonna say, you know, why, and why would they not be on it, and compare the two. So that'd be the first step. And then the second step will be to have Chris go out there and do a full walkthrough.
Well, I mean, I guess we can have them all in here, but almost, it makes more sense to me that he just review all their work.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to meet him, talk to
I
him.
mean, I'd like to,
Okay.
at some point, if he's gonna be out there,
Yeah.
let's just do that.
Yeah, we could walk it with him too.
Yeah, I think that would be more productive.
Okay, and I can get him started looking on the old ORAD too.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Have they agreed, has he given them a budget, or do?
No, we'll have to do that. We'll have to send that out. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be pretty extensive.
I do too, yeah. They're already asking for certain things, like can we, you know, what about this wetland? Is that any value? What about, there's a question about the isolated land subject to flooding.
So I think we need to quantify all that, and we want that person doing that.
Right, and we
working
need
with you.
and we need an engineer on the isolated land subject to flooding, because that's based on, you know, square feet of, you know, water, so, okay. Lot 2 Glades Road. This one, you guys, 2 of you are very familiar with, maybe 4 of you. It went to court. This was a butters, and one of butter was gonna lose his view, and ended up buying the second lot. But the second lot had a spot where the house could be built without disturbing a wetland at all, and now the new owner wants to move it to a spot where it will disturb a wetland. And under
Fill it in, I
DEP, if
thought.
you have a spot you can build on without disturbing, you're supposed to do that. So now they're trying to prove that the value of the wetland may not have all the interests of the Wetland Protection Act. So it's complicated, it's a legal thing, they are allowed to try to show this. Well, our person who we hire will have to look closely at everything they say and say, you're correct on this,
Right.
you're wrong on
Do
this.
we have a
Yeah.
consultant yet for that?
That would be, Chris Lucas was gonna do that one first, so we'd already
Oh,
called him.
good.
We needed someone that hasn't been involved at all in this.
That'd be perfect.
Every other wetland person's name is in this file,
I know.
everybody.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good idea.
yeah, so, and John Zimmer's doing the most recent review, and John's pretty good, so we'll see if Chris agrees, and,
That'd be great.
okay. So that's where we are, and again, we have to get a
I do
budget
have good
established.
confidence in him, I know you.
Yeah, he's had some bad ones before, some tough ones, and he's been very serious. He's a professional wetland scientist. He's got all the qualifications.
Good.
So,
Well, he can always go to Candlewood if everything else works out.
we'll really test him, yes.
Oh, my word.
I wasn't even gonna bring that up tonight. It's not on,
All
it's
right,
not on
good.
the agenda, okay?
Let's go.
Barry's Landing, the request from Greg Morse to find out about the pesticides, insecticides,
Can't use any.
herbicides, and so he wants to get on for the
Oh,
16th.
$50 off.
But I thought they answered him in that email
They
today.
answer them, but they say you can't use it unless, or you can't use it, but you can't use it within. So they can enforce theirs, but ours appears stricter, so he just wants an interpretation, so. But I thought North Rivers were pretty good.
Well, if we have better ones, then just tell them to follow us.
Right, it'd be nice if it was based on something,
It
though,
does
that's the only thing,
indicate,
you know?
That's, I mean, again, it's a pretty sensitive area.
It
They
is.
They knew it,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have to live with it.
Right, and is it enforceable? That's the other part of this whole thing. That's, you know,
It is.
I mean, it'd be
Yeah, it's
nice.
sitting out there, we'll get it enforced.
All right, cameras. All right, so Greg's gonna, anyway, he's gonna come on the 16th, briefly discuss it,
Great.
so. And Lisa, whose car died and called you just after you left to see if she could ride in with
Oh,
you.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, she, at the last minute, her car died. She's working on either a database or a spreadsheet so that we can have all of the enforcement stuff online, can print out reports, and we can, you know, you guys can check it on every time. Because now we're up to probably 30 enforcements. Some have resolved, some are still going on. And then we can prioritize, okay, here are the ones, which ones do we want to do? Because they, some of them last a long time. So, that's it.
I didn't get a chance to respond to anything on the trail things, the people that are interested in that. Maybe we'll talk about that in the next week or so.
Okay,
When we
yeah.
get back from vacation.
Then the correspondence, we just got this 2 days ago. Somebody trying to gift parcel to the Maxwell Conservation Trust. Do you have the one-page letter from Tricia on how we're gonna handle open space?
I haven't, is there something new? Because
Like November?
I have this letter. I thought I gave you a copy, but I can get Carol to make another one. This is the
What's the date?
November 25th.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I've only brought you this thing twice. It's probably three.
No, you haven't. You sent me an email, I couldn't read it.
All right, we'll copy it before I leave.
Yeah, before we go, because there's a policy in place for accepting land. You know, town doesn't want to take land off the tax rolls if there's no good reason. You know, sometimes it has value, we will take it, and other times.
Where's Village Lane?
No idea, it just came in.
Oh, Village Lane, that's down to Scituate.
Where is it?
Isn't it off of Gannett?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the first one after you go past the marsh,
Okay.
just past Limbacher's house. You have the marsh and then that's Village Lane.
Okay.
So what's out back there? It's all sopping wet.
All right, well, we'll look at it.
Yeah, and in some of these flexible open space design subdivisions, that open space is built into their agreement, the homeowner association. I mean,
Right.
they're gonna wanna dump those back to the town. I don't think it,
We'll let them keep paying taxes on it.
yeah, they're supposed to maintain it and,
Right. Okay.
okay. So I
But
think
I'll
that
try
was
to
a-
catch up with some of these folks that want to do some trail work and see
Yeah,
what we can get them onto.
yeah, they wanna come to a meeting 16th.
Ah,
No, not the
Go to the one
16th.
in August.
Yeah, briefly,
Yeah.
they're gonna talk
Push
briefly.
it out.
that's all right. I
No.
think we got,
Enough for the 6th.
Briefly, we've got an awful lot.
I'll talk to them, all right?
All right.
And
Do you
get some
know
things
Kim
going.
Ryan?
No.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's also been involved with senior things and stuff.
Okay.
She's pretty active.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm excited for
Yeah,
that.
sounds like they wanna help, so.
Yep. That'd be good.
Okay.
Bring Howard along.
We're still, the saga on the Crosby property carries on. We're still trying to resolve. We were almost ready to close, but not quite. But we're getting there.
It's,
And they're surveying the Damon property, and
That's good.
so we're moving.
Are they doing some cutting to get in there? Were they?
No, there's another lot there. There's actually another, the people that own, there's two access points into
Yes.
the Damon property, and there's a house between that, and those people are doing some perk tests.
Oh, okay. Kim was asking that today too. Okay. And Carol, was there a
West End's pretty
Davidson-
tight. I got about 4 calls on that before 7 o'clock.
Yeah, before the morning.
Yeah.
There was an
They barely
old-
can't unload a machine and,
Yeah. All right. 34 Bailey's Causeway, is that one ready for a vote on the order?
okay.
I make a motion
I read
to
that.
accept the orders of condition on Bailey's Causeway 34, as written,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
and the other one was still waiting.
Okay. That it?
No, we got minutes, and I have just one little point I'd like to make. Oh, huff and puff yourself. I make a motion that we accept the minutes of June 4th, 2014, as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Rosemary, did you have something to say?
I just wanted to say, back on the idea of the signs, if you could make up official signs, not signs, but
A permit.
certificates, permits, thank you. I think it would be a huge help, particularly in Humrock. You'd get fewer calls and.
Yeah, I
They
think,
would need to be official.
yeah, I think we've told them they have to. And,
Yeah.
but you're saying if it's like a shingle, no one pays attention to it, or, it's just, the only thing is, it's one more thing for us to do, one more, you know, and it's just, we're just swamped with stuff, you know?
You think you're right?
So,
But DEP, the DEP sign, you're aware that we don't make those. The people have to have them, and so we could say, you know, Scituate RDA with that, and they could make them up. But I do think having a permit they could put in the window would be a good thing.
You have, I would think.
So do we have-
Neighbors complaining or questioning or.
and have
I would
them
love to-
make them
We
and
have
charge
no
them.
access to money to get those printed, like money for minor
Well, it's
activities.
printed on the printer.
Number for each island would be a different.
Well, no, but even if you did like a building permit,
All they buy is
printed
red.
green cards, you could write the number, you could write minor activities, RDA, whatever.
They got a bunch of red paper. All they do is print the thing on the
Okay.
computer.
Okay.
Just do a different color.
Yeah, we could
Then
do
build
that.
Yeah.
Different color,
Yeah.
yeah.
The DEP, they asked for a certain size sign, and you guys have been
Well,
allowed to
for
spray
an-
paint.
for notice of
For-
intent.
for an order, yeah,
And you have an
yeah,
order, it's
yeah.
clear how big
Yeah.
it has to be.
Yeah,
But an RDA, they never
Okay.
had that,
RDA,
but
we
we're
could do
doing
colored-
minor activities in the
Yeah.
RDAs, if we could get them on a sheet that someone, then they could always move them from job to job and whatever.
yeah, they're dated.
Yeah, they-
But
Go
if
ahead.
someone saw activity going on,
You're
and
right.
there wasn't
Yeah.
a sign.
Right.
Right.
It would eliminate some calls, there's no
Yeah.
That would be
And
good.
even on the other ones, the orders, a lot of times I get out there and I don't even think to look at the number, you know, you're out there for a reason and you say, oh, I should have checked for the sign,
Right.
you know, and I gotta get in the habit, and we could all do that. So,
If you take a picture of it, you can email it back to Carol and she can check it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Go
Carol,
ahead.
it's been done. Just one quick thing, tonight we had all these IDAs, and to be honest, I do believe that we had made a ruling a year or so ago that the stuff had to come in properly done, and I think these IDAs, it was kind of a lot of them, they weren't very well done. We didn't, you know, we're guessing, there's no, I mean,
This lacks a certain-
that's a joke.
The Turner Road one?
Lacks a certain-
But he had a better one, Pat had. I mean,
No,
this is-
well, this one
yeah.
just didn't print, but it's just, you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Right.
come on.
Actually, that house is in the middle of a wetland.
But I feel as though the RDAs came in very sloppily done and didn't give us all the information we really need to look
Yeah,
at
they-
and to give
You're
you
right, Penny, a
something.
ton of them come in with no delineation of any resource
Well,
area,
that's
just
what
a
happened
drawing of what we
tonight.
want to
Like,
do.
I kind of questioned that guy when he said 110.
You're right,
There's
it's
no
probably.
way.
But fortunately, you guys have been to that site. If some of these tonight, you hadn't been to the site and we had that information, we're not gonna vote.
But I didn't have anything to go by when I went to
Yeah.
the site. I had my visual eyes, but I didn't have a plan that he was
Noted.
showing.
Noted, Penny.
I just think they're coming in very sloppy.
Yeah, and if we can get them, if we catch them, and we have time to say, you know, you're missing this page,
Yeah,
or
you
that
can't get on the
information is
agenda
off.
until it's.
We should check them when they come in and just, if right away, let them know, because it's so busy in there, like, and that one on, this first time I saw that plan was today. I went to the house, but that was the first time I saw the plan, because we're busy, you know, but,
Yeah.
Okay,
you're right, you're right.
Duly noted and motion to close.
Have a
Is there
second?
anything else? I think so.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Frank?